What happens when one of the world's largest electric vehicle makers turns its attention to the family SUV? You get this, the BYD Sealion 6, with a claimed electric range of over 100 kilometers and a cabin packed with technology, it's aiming to dethrone the established giants. Now, speaking about established giants, the BYD competes in the mid-size SUV segment against cars like the Toyota RAV4, Hyundai Tucson, and Kia Sportage, as well as the Volkswagen Tiguan. It also competes against its Chinese cousins like the Haval GT PHEV and the JQ J7 SHS. Looking at the car's exterior, the first thing you notice was that it's not trying to be shy or anonymous. It wants to be noticed, and from the front you cannot mistake it for anything else on the road. While we're on the topic of the front, the car comes standard with full LED headlights. Coming down the side of the car, you'll immediately notice a slightly raked roofline, which is not the normal box shape we are used to, with the JQ J7 being the biggest box offender. It has a coupe-like look to it, which I find quite nice. When it comes to the wheels, it has 19-inch wheels that come standard across the range. When it comes to the rear of the car, it ties the whole design package together perfectly with a full-length light bar that comes standard across the range, and the BYD logo making itself known. Now in the segment, I do not think that it is the most aggressive looking car because that title goes to the Hyundai Tucson. However, I do think it's one of the most elegant or classiest looking cars in the segment, with the VW Tiguan not so far behind it. Inside the car, my first impression is that it feels like the future. The cabin is minimalist, spacious, and dominated by a 15.6-inch infotainment display. The quality is immediately noticeable with soft touch materials covering the dash and all other major touch points of the car. The interior also has ambient lighting which runs the full length of the dash, including the doors. The infotainment screen is not only massive, it rotates to have a portrait orientation. Now, I don't know why that's there and what function it serves, but it's there for a reason somebody can explain. The screen also has an added disadvantage of having all the car's functions embedded within it. Now, I'm sure through time, the owner that does eventually buy this car will get used to it. Looking at the back seats, it's safe to say the car is very spacious, with a generous amount of legroom. You could easily fit 3 adults comfortably for a long journey. The rear seat passengers are also treated to 2 air vents as well as 2 USB ports, one Type A and one Type C. Unfortunately, where the car drops the ball is with boot space, because one would think the car being as big as it is, it would have the boot space to match, but unfortunately it doesn't. With a boot space of 425 liters, it's very disappointing considering that this is supposed to be a family vehicle. Before we get to the engine and the price, if you found this video informative, please like and subscribe to the channel. Now back to the engine. The Comfort and Dynamic model both come with a 1.5-liter engine paired with an electric motor. This produces a combined output of 160 kilowatts and 300 newton meters of torque. The power is sent through a CVT gearbox to drive the front wheels. This has a claimed fuel consumption of 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers and a total claimed range of 1,092 kilometers with an electric-only range of 80 kilometers. Only the top of the range premium model comes with a 1.5-liter turbocharged petrol engine that is paired with 2 electric motors. This setup has a total output of 238 kilowatts and 550 newton meters of torque. The power is sent through a CVT gearbox to drive all 4 wheels. This model has a claimed fuel consumption of 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers and a total claimed range of 961 kilometers with an electric-only range of 70 kilometers. Now we have arrived at the uncomfortable part of the video, the price. The entire range starts at $639,900 for the entry-level dynamic model and goes all the way to $789,900 for the top of the range premium model. Now this comes in cheaper than the Toyota RAV4, Kia Sportage, Haval H6 GT and the VW Tiguan, with only the Hyundai Tucson and the JQ J7 coming in cheaper than that. When it comes to after-sales support, the car comes with a 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan, which also covers servicing, and a 5-year 100,000 kilometer warranty. Now, since this is a hybrid, the battery is covered by a 8-year 200,000 kilometer battery warranty. If I had a budget of 600,000 to 800,000 Rand, I would take a long hard look at a slightly used Toyota Fortuner because that has never failed us as a nation. But if theft is a major concern, I would strongly consider a demo Hyundai Tucson N-Line, but that's just me. And to answer the question why we're not buying it, I personally think it's very hard to overlook the competition. It really is. And it's not that it's a bad offering by any means, it's a very solid car. But in my opinion, I don't think it quite has enough to be a segment leader. And I think that's why we don't see many of them on the roads.